get some advice from you. We really like the Seven Figure Academy, and we watched all your videos. So you really all your advice really helped us. But the main thing is we're kind of looking into transitioning into like getting off the truck and then growing the company a little more into get more jobs per month and just maximize our growth here. So we
Hmm.
kind of wanted to ask, just start off like, did you have trend like any advice for us to transition to getting off the truck, and how we should like go about doing that, because we kind of have solid guys coming in, so we just kind of wanted to see if you had any advice for that.
Okay. So before you get off the truck, do you have enough business for you to come off the truck? First of all, do you have enough business already coming in where you guys don't need to be on, it's more profitable for you to be off the truck than on the truck?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how busy you say, but we have, I can show you right here our calendar. We had a number of moves per week, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 moves per week kind of coming in. So we're kind of averaging around there, 8 to 10 moves a week. I don't know if that's enough, but it's just kind of hard for us to do all the moves and then also try to do all the marketing that we're trying to do, because we're really trying to be focused on, getting that. But
That's what I'm talking about. So basically, with the amount of jobs that you got in, right? If you're working on the truck, you don't have enough time to do sales and marketing. But if
yeah,
you do sales and marketing, then you get too many jobs to do the job, kind of. Is that where you're at?
yeah, we're just like, so we're always on the truck every day, and it's like we don't have time to, we like to cold call, and we like to just do a lot of marketing and stuff like that, but we can't really do any of that while we're on the truck. It's just like
Okay,
a lot to do. We're kind of just like working full time.
fair enough. That now, do both of you need to be off the truck, or because it's a team, right? You and one other guy.
Yeah, me and Cole.
All right. So do you both need to be off the truck, or is it just something that one person can do?
I wouldn't say we both need to be off the truck, but like one of us could be on and the other can do, because we'll we work together as a team, so we're gonna make sure it functions right. But I wouldn't say we both need to, but that's definitely the goal. We want to really maximize the sales and the marketing and all that.
Well, and that's a good thing. The other, I'm basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a picture of where you guys are at before I make any kind of adjudication or any kind of
Okay.
recommendation. Um, do you have, if let's say you come off the truck, do you have someone that's going to replace you, or you probably need to be replaced by one or maybe even two people? Do you got anybody to
Yeah.
replace you?
Yeah, we've been bringing guys on every moves, and we do have a solid, people that can take the foreman and driver position. So we've really been training guys so they can really, we're really getting guys going so that they can do the moves without us. So
Okay.
yeah, we can definitely. I mean, we got 2 guys right now on a move. They're just doing it right now while I'm on this call, and then Cole's on a move right now.
Okay. Fair enough. And what is the average size ticket of a job that you guys do? Typically,
Um, I mean, I can show you like just last week we had like um I can show my emails the statements from, we get like, one day was 1,500, another day was 1,800, 1,700, 1,400, and I mean that's a combination of like two or three moves in a day. But yeah, I
okay,
mean the average is, it's up there like 1,200 per move maybe.
okay,
We do a lot of 3-man crews. They're pretty big moves.
okay. So you're doing a lot of two man. So you're making about typically right around $1,200-$1,300 a day.
Yeah, around there, yeah, and then we have 1,700, 1,600. So yeah, around there, yeah.
All right. And as the new guys, are they helping bring in more income to the job? Are they contributing to the amount of income being made, or no?
Well, and like what way, like
Well,
just
are they costing you more money to? So if I mean, if you for instance, if you came off the truck, right? Are they costing you more to operate them to be on the truck than it costs you to be on the truck?
no, I wouldn't say so, because me and Cole, we pay ourselves like like we're employees. So if we were to get
Okay.
off the truck, it wouldn't change the price per move or anything like that.
All
So I
right,
don't
good.
think I don't think it
But what
costs.
I'm talking more is about the intrinsical costs, like the jobs lost, right, versus how much they're bringing in,
Oh,
right?
like if we're
So,
losing
pardon me?
if we're losing jobs, like by us
Yeah,
being off the
because you
truck.
don't have enough people necessarily. Are you losing more jobs than by having those guys on? For instance, if you had those guys on the job, but you're off the truck, so you're able to close those jobs.
Hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? Are you losing more jobs, or or is it allowing you to book more jobs by being off the truck?
I think we're allowing because we do miss a lot of calls when we're on the truck, and
Okay.
we're not able to call people back and follow up and do a lot of that. So yeah, we do take a lot of calls during the jobs, and it can just be a lot to handle. So I would say so. Maybe
Okay.
losing some potential jobs by us just doing all the work all day and not
Right.
doing follow ups and things like that.
Right. Okay. Good. Now, do you have a CRM?
Yeah, we have movers tech.
Movers Tech?
Hmm.
I, I think that I think they're pretty good. I don't I can't I'm not familiar with it. I think they're by another moving company in your area, correct?
I don't know. I don't know where. I just looked at it and I did the demo with the guy, and we really just wanted something simple because we want to just track our customers and
Right.
have a database of all that and
Right.
start tracking
Okay.
things.
Very good. Well, that's good. Even if you're only using it a minimally, having a something that allows you to keep track of your past customers, current customers, and do follow up systems is beneficial.
Hmm.
Excellent. Good. So yeah, I think it sounds like at least one of you should come off the truck, and it
Okay.
sounds like what you need is the person who's the best at sales. If
Hmm.
it's you or Cole, then if Cole's the best at sales, maybe you should stay on the truck. But if you're better at sales, then you should come off the truck and let Cole do it. I
Okay.
wouldn't come off to the truck until you're getting to the point where you've got enough people to replace both of you on the trucks, and you're getting enough jobs for that to be done.
Hmm.
Okay, you're not quite up to the point where both of you should necessarily have to come off the truck.
Yeah.
And maybe you guys can split that hat. But the problem with doing that is then it becomes confusing of what your job positions,
Hmm.
right? So I think you've got the great idea about coming off the truck, at least one of you, right?
Yep.
And that's to run sales and do the marketing, etc. I wouldn't necessarily have both of you come off at this point. Probably next summer would probably be a better ideal time for that.
Okay.
Um, Not knowing the full specifics of your company, but just based on some of the answers to the questions I've asked. With that said, you've got to have to now. What you're going to need to do is start working on actually defining roles in the business. You're
Okay.
getting to that point in your business where, yeah, you guys are working on a truck and you guys had the same goals and aspirations and everything was melting. But now your guys are coming up and you guys are going to be diverging on roles in the company. So now
Hmm.
what you got to do is you're going to have to define what your roles are specifically going to be in the company and actually start delineating what those job duties are for that particular role.
Hmm.
And make sure that you've got your responsibilities, your statistics, and who's responsible if it goes wrong or sideways,
Like
right?
yeah, okay.
It's like a hat, like a job hat or folder is basically what you want to start defining, right?
Okay.
And you want to start defining that for both you and Cole, right?
Hmm.
So maybe Cole, I don't know, but maybe Cole is better at marketing and you're better at sales,
Hmm.
right? So you'll have Cole handle marketing and you handle sales, or maybe Cole's better at being the operations manager and you're better at the organizational manager, right?
Yep.
But you're going to have to define your roles in the company and then actually lay out at what your responsibilities are, what your duties are. I mean, and you can write them down as a checklist. So as a sales manager, my job is to you know, get names onto the list, make sure the list is communicated to daily, blah blah blah, and it just, it can just do it. And then as time goes over, you will be adjusting those roles. So you'll be adding to those duties, you'll be taking away from those duties, you'll be altering what the duties are, and so on and so forth. Does this make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
You need to start doing that, because as you start building, you're getting to that point where you're building. If you guys do not have a defined role in the position with an actual laid out list of duties, then what's going to happen is you guys are going to start overlapping and doing each other's job. And then things are going to start falling through the cracks, because you're going to think, well, Cole is supposed to have done XYZ when it should have been you who should have done XYZ. And Cole's going to think, well, he should have done XYZ and not me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and then things start falling into things. By having these roles actually define what the role is and the actual duties that should go with that role, and then the actual result of of those duties, then you can what you're doing is now you're putting in place a system in your business. And that's where you're into. So you really should start working on systems. And right here in the thing, I have a book called 7-Figure Systems. You can find it on Amazon. It's a real simple read. It's a basic book about systems. But even if you don't get my book or you don't do anything with my book, that's fine. I don't care one way or the other. You should go and actually start finding books about systems and how to implement systems. One of the best authors in the area is Gino Wickman, and his book Traction and all of his other books are very good reads. And you're in a position now where you're going to need to start implementing those type of books. So get books by Gino Wickman right now. Sorry about that. And start implementing those things, because if you don't have like defined roles and duties, and with a result of those duties, then things will fall in the crack, and that's when the business starts going downhill. Okay. And you're at that point now. So
okay, that's cool. That's cool. I appreciate it. And then me and Cole had a question about the actual employees. Should we be having guys on W-2, or because right now we just pay guys cash? Mainly all the people that work for us are all kind of people we know, and that they've been with us for a while, and they like they like the brand, and we have a standard of how we want the employees to be like, and they're all with it and on board with it. And we just want to get into getting should we have W-2 and workers' comp insurance if someone gets hurt, as we're gonna be off the truck and things like that, because we pay people cash.
Yeah. Short answer is yes. The long answer is it's probably not something you should have done this earlier in the business. That said, it's going to take a little bit of time to adjust. So now's a good time to start working towards that. There's 3 things that you need in business. You need a lawyer, an accountant, and a salesperson, right?
Okay.
You should have an attorney on retainer, or somebody that can work for you, somebody that you've established a thing that doesn't necessarily, who will help you with your documentations and stuff like that, and writing all the legalese for your contracts, etc. That's not someone who needs to be a full-time position. But you do need an accountant who can do your taxes, do your payrolls, and stuff like that.
Okay.
A lot of businesses fail because they don't have an accountant, and they try to do it all themselves, and then it gets overwhelming because then there's so much to do. So the short answer is yes, you should do that. Second answer is you're going to probably need to start doing that in a gradient systematic way of doing that. So I wouldn't just stop and start doing it. Yeah. I would go find yourself a good accountant. Hire a part-time bookkeeper that could come in once a week, just to reconcile all the accounts, make sure the accounts are in right order, log receipts and stuff like that, and then do payroll for you. because you can
Mm-hmm.
do payroll through like QuickBooks and FreshBooks and stuff.
Yeah,
You
we have
can pay for it,
QuickBooks.
and you can just you can go and order checks through your bank, right?
Yep.
Um, and you could just print them off on your printer and then print those things. But it's the accounting behind all of that that is required, because if you do W-2s, now you got to start taking workman's comp, you got to start doing Social Security, all these other things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to choose a day. Are you going to pay them every 2 weeks or every week? What day are you going to pay for them? Like I would, I'm about ready to do this particular thing. I'm going to start paying my guys on Monday, and I'm going to try to do it where I'm paying them every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Most likely, the guys aren't going to like that, and they're going to want, hey, can we get paid every week?
Yeah.
So we'll probably have to do it, but that's the actual position I'm in. It's finding an accountant who could do your taxes at the end, and then a bookkeeper that can keep get you all up to date on your books,
Mm-hmm.
right? And make sure everything's reconciled, all the bank accounts are reconciled, all the bills are reconciled, so on and so forth, and start putting them together, those P&L sheets, all the other documentation spreadsheets that's needed for this business.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a good CRM, your CRM can do a lot of that work for you. And then if it has integration with QuickBooks, even better, because QuickBooks, if set up correctly, QuickBooks could do that, right? Especially if QuickBooks is set up with your bank account, right?
Yeah.
And then your QuickBooks is also integrated with your CRM. Then everything works together. All you just need is somebody to go and make sure the accounts are correct. All the accounting is correct, all the receipts are correct, and so on and so forth. And that's literally a part-time job at this point, like 1 or 2 days a week,
Yeah.
unless you're also going to double hat them to make sure that they're answering phones for you throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
But I would, that's an organizational question, but definitely should be doing that. I wouldn't just go, okay, we're going to start doing W-2s now, because then that's
Yeah.
going to get you in trouble. So find
Mm-hmm.
an accountant, get yourself a bookkeeper, start putting in the systems. But before even that, do you guys are you guys licensed and insured as movers yet?
No, that's what we were trying to do too, is get insurance, and we tried to get licensed, but I don't think we don't even have a truck yet.
Okay. So
Because yeah,
you're doing it the down and dirty way.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You
But
should.
we're making so much more money now, and we're so busy, like because we're really trying to start getting things right before something happens.
Right. Well, that's a good thing. Yeah. The first thing you want to do is you want to get yourself licensed and insured, right?
Okay.
As full service movers,
Mm-hmm.
because something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that license and insurance, it's going to bite you in the ass, right?
Mm-hmm.
The truck's going to roll over. You're going to break something. A marble tabletop table. You know what I mean? Things
Yeah.
are going to it's going to happen. It's not a matter if it's going to happen. It's a matter of
Yeah.
when. So that should be done, and then you should get yourself an LLC.
We have a LLC.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a LLC,
All right.
and
But
we have
then,
an EIN and a business bank account and all that.
okay, good. That's good. How are you working on business credit? Are you guys working on business credit?
No, it's like getting a business credit card and all that.
Yeah. Well, for instance, you should start with a fuel card for your vehicles,
Mm-hmm.
right? You get a fuel card for like maybe you and Cole, or even your drivers, so that when they rent a Penske or a U-Haul or whatever, they've got a fuel card. So when they go and drop off the truck, they can take the fuel card and fuel up the truck.
Okay.
Working on get a business credit card is a good thing, so that you guys are building your credit.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're coming into a slow season, and if you haven't got a lot of money in the bank, which hopefully you do, knock on wood, I'm hoping you are. I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
ask whether you do or not. If you don't, you're going to need credit for those emergencies, right?
Yeah.
So you should really start working on business credit. But that's also something, if you got a good bookkeeper who knows their business, can help you with. Especially accountant should definitely be able to help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So working on that. But yeah, you definitely need to work on, get yourself an accountant. You've got the business account, which is good, and the LLC good. So get
Yeah.
yourself an accountant, get yourself a part-time bookkeeper,
Yep.
and then get yourself licensed and insured.
Mm-hmm.
And right now is the time to do it because you're coming in the slow season.
Okay. And then yeah, and as far as insurance, like just I know is can all we really get is general liability right now? Because I've tried to get licensed, but it seems like that's a USDT, Department of Transportation, and we don't even own like a truck or anything. So are we able to get licensed without a vehicle?
Well, what kind of vehicles do you guys got? Do either of you guys own a pickup truck?
I have a van that I put all the blankets and dollies in, and
Is it a minivan or is it a cargo van?
it's a minivan.
Okay. Minivans don't work. You got to have like at least a cargo van.
Okay.
So one thing you could do, I don't know how the size of your minivan. Minivans work, and I have a minivan too. But but they won't work for licensing purposes. So you need to either get if you can afford it, find a cheap, rusted out pickup truck that, I don't care if it runs. Just
Yeah.
find it so that you can put it in the business name, right? And you've got a VIN number, a VIN number. And then using that truck, then you can use that, say that truck is a moving truck, which is a legitimate moving truck.
Mm-hmm.
You can then use that as a way to get your insurance, right?
Okay.
And then a good person to talk to is Jessica Sharp. I don't know if she works in your state, but she can definitely help walk you through the insurance processes. You can
Jessica
find,
Sharp.
yeah.
Okay.
Are you in my seven-figure moving group on
Yeah.
Facebook?
Yeah.
She's in the group too, so you could just say, hey, I'm looking for Jessica Sharp, and she'll get to you and help you out with insurance. Tell her I sent you.
Okay.
But she can help you. I don't know if she's licensed in your state or not, but if she is, she can help you. She can do the insurance for you. If not, she can find somebody that can help you.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good. So I got her down here.
Right.
I mean, yeah,
Now, let me ask you this: how much money do you have in the bank in reserves?
I think we got like 15,000.
Okay, great. Because what you probably want to do is, when you're talking to Jessica, say, hey, look, we have this one vehicle. Another thing that you could do too is you could go to like Penske and then get Penske, open up a business account with them, and then rent a vehicle with them for like 45 days.
Yeah.
Right? As long as it's over 31 days, this works. Right? So do a rental for like 45 days, a 45-day rental with them, right? And then you could use that VIN number from that truck as your truck, because now it's a leased truck, and you can get insurance on leased trucks. Does this make sense?
Yeah, and it will stay like even after the 45 days. Like
yeah. Well, as long as you're paying the insurance, it'll stay. The vehicle will then change, but and Jessica can walk you through that. But that's another way of getting a vehicle when you don't have a vehicle. Does this make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So now that once you get that insurance and stuff, and you're doing it, that's good. When you're doing it, because you're brand new, and you've got some money in the bank, which is awesome. I don't know. Hopefully your guys' personal credit is good.
Yeah, mine is. Yeah.
Yours is good?
Yeah, Cole doesn't even have a credit card.
Oh, well, he should start getting a credit card.
Yeah.
It's going to come in better for business in the long run. Even if he doesn't use it, just go get one. But if your credit is good and you got some money in the bank, what you could do to really get the insurance costs down, because insurance is based on a lot of different things. but a lot of it is how many trucks you got, how new they are, and all that good stuff. What you could do then say, hey, look, I'm willing to take and pay for the first year up front. And a typical 1 year upfront cost for insurance is right around $8,000-9,000 for one truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could take 8 or 9,000 of that and pay the insurance upfront for one entire year.
Okay.
And that's a way to get, because if they're giving you a problem about being insured, then say, hey, look, I'm willing to pay an entire year up front. And then once you start offering money to these guys, then they're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, these guys are legitimate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you have to play that game, because sometimes if you don't have good credit, right? And I'm not saying you guys, but if you were in a position where you didn't have good credit or money in the bank, right, it would be really super difficult, because they've got secret qualifications to allow you to get insurance. And one of
Mm-hmm.
them is how much money you have in the bank, your credit rating, and so on. They won't tell you this, but at least not up front, right?
Yeah.
You kind of have to learn it to, go around the back end eventually. But they've got like secret qualifications, and one of them is you got to have good credit, you got to have money in the bank, you got to have a legitimate LLC, that kind of thing. You got to have a legitimate website. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you've got all that, then you can get insurance for the most part.
Okay.
But that is just a trick to do it in case somebody starts giving you problems about getting insurance.
Okay. I got that. Cool. I mean, yeah, getting a truck, when should we look into like buying a truck or owning or leasing? Like, should we be making a certain amount per month or
Well, let me ask. Well, the question is should you be getting a truck? Well, how much money are you spending right now on rentals?
I mean, the last month we spent, I think it was around 3 grand on rentals.
$3,000 on rental trucks.
Yeah, I think so.
For like a third of that, right? Or even less than a third, you could own a truck, right? With
Okay.
insurance for less than that. So you tell me, is it time to get a truck?
I think, yeah, that's what it sounded like. That's what I
Yeah.
didn't know. I didn't know because we didn't want to jump into something and have Cole's worried about overhead and expense but I was telling him we're already spending so much per month on rentals or as it is.
Right. Yeah. Shoot, you literally could buy two $50,000 trucks right now, and have less of a monthly nut to pay
Okay.
than that $3,000.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So
Another option is to lease too, because if you don't want to spend a lot of money on maintenance and stuff, another option is to look into leases, right?
mm-hmm.
You could go and get a couple, maybe a lease truck or two, and that could be a very affordable option. And even with leases, you can even brand up the truck. You could put like stickers along the side of the
Oh
truck,
yeah. Okay.
and so you can actually have it branded up as your own vehicle. So. Um,
Mm-hmm.
So that might be something you want to look into, which would be right around about the same amount you're paying now for rental trucks. But then you don't have to pay for the routine maintenance, or if the truck goes down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So look into like right now owning a truck or leasing one.
yeah, it really comes down to how much. I mean, I would rather control the asset myself. Um, Even though the moving trucks are not technically assets, they're liabilities, because they're depreciating in value every year.
Mm-hmm.
They're still making you a lot more money, right? So
Yeah.
let's say you buy one truck, right? And that lessens your rental bill down by half, or even by $1,000. You're paying $3,000 now per month, but you buy a truck and now you're only paying $2,000 for rental trucks. You're
Mm-hmm.
still it's still making you money, because now
Yeah.
you're putting an extra $1,000 into your every month versus
Mm-hmm.
paying it out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So so I would rather own the asset myself, but sometimes leasing does make sense, especially for new companies.
Mm-hmm.
Leasing is a good option because you don't have to pay for you can get more vehicles, um, and you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about maintenance and stuff like that. You just
Mm-hmm.
need to get insurance and stuff.
Okay.
Does
Okay.
that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah. That makes sense. Is there any like tips we should do into looking to buy a truck, like with a certain amount of mileage or a certain truck, or what are we paying like cash, a certain amount of down payment, or just try to get it just as a monthly payment?
Well, here's my philosophy on it. Um, if the customer is going to dictate price, then you dictate terms, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to dictate terms, then you dictate price. Most
Yeah.
people wanted. Most people who own a vehicle are not very creative, and they just want to say the price is blah, and then that's when you guys go, okay, great, we'll give you full price, but this is
Mm-hmm.
how we're going to structure the thing, and you want to structure it to a point where it's actually beneficial for you.
Okay. I see what you mean. See what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a good rule of thumb. It is not necessarily a foolproof thing, but basically, if they say, "I want $25,000 for this truck," awesome. Well, then here's the terms we're going to work it at. You're going to finance it for, you know, $25,000. I'm going to give you $3,000 down, and the interest rate is going to be blah. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they go, "Well, I don't want to do it that way." Well, then I'm not going to pay you $25,000. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah. That makes sense.
So it's the rule of thumb basically is if they're going to dictate price, then you dictate terms. If they don't want to, if they don't want to work with terms, then you dictate the price,
Okay.
right?
I
And
get
you,
that.
and if you um, ideally a good truck, you want a truck that's going to last you a good 3, 4, 5 years. You probably want something right around I wouldn't buy anything less than $30,000.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. And I'll give you a real life example. I just bought a 2014 Lincoln Navigator Long Edition V8 with 133,000 miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if you go online, you can't even find a beat up truck like that for that. I got it for $10,000 from a dealership
Yeah.
at 19% interest,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and I only put $1,000 down, right?
Wow.
So it's how good your negotiation skills are, right?
Okay.
But
Yep.
the more the truck costs, typically the better the truck is, and the better
Yeah.
the truck is, the less maintenance you're going to have to put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's why I'm saying maybe leasing a truck might be a better option for you because you could get a fairly new truck that's in very well maintained um, for
Yeah.
you know for a small down payment. You could probably get two trucks for a $5,000 down payment and a monthly sum. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that might be good to get you started, until you got to the point where you're even making even more money and then can buy your own trucks.
Okay, that makes sense. And just kind of call around to like Penske and Enterprise and just
Penske, Enterprise, Ryder, anybody that does truck leasing.
okay, just get it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I
All right.
mean, even U-Haul does truck leasing.
Yeah. And then we can brand it, right? We can brand the trucks. They let us do that.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I
So
think we'll get into that. Look into that thing because yeah, we are spending a lot per month on trucks.
yeah. So, and I mean, you might not spend much less leasing the trucks, but you're not worrying about maintenance on it either. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
that's the thing here
so,
too.
and you're obviously got your prices, you're well priced because you got money in the bank and so on and so forth. Just
Mm-hmm.
realize your money in the bank account is going to go once you guys come off the truck. That's going to start decreasing the amount that you're able to save away each time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, because you're going to be adding more overhead.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's what Cole was saying too. But I think it's what we need to do just because of the expenses per month with the trucks. So okay, I appreciate that. I'll definitely look into that, the insurance and all that. Um, we did you like we wanted to see like are there certain things that we should be tracking because we're trying to get our marketing and our sales down. And should we be tracking each phone call we get per month, every lead, the lead source, and should we track every single thing we get?
Yes, yes, absolutely. You should track every lead, what lead source it's coming from. Um, if you've got a Canva account, you could do that in Canva. You could get they have an app that you could attach to your Canva account, which is a QR code, right? And you
Hmm.
start making QR codes for instance, if you make a creative for Facebook, you create a Facebook ad, you could put a QR code on your Facebook ad, right? So somebody clicks that QR code. Now you know it comes from Facebook. Your
Hmm.
truck should have its own QR code. Each truck should have its own QR code. So if you have two trucks, you put a QR code on the truck, right?
Yeah.
And but it's the QR codes, the customer won't know. So when they scan it, it's just going to go to the your page, right? But you can
Hmm.
keep track of the statistically, you can keep track of using those QR codes is a great way to track your marketing, right? So
Yeah.
if you send out a postcard, you should have a QR code on it. If you have pass out a business card, you should have a QR code on it. If you give a rat card or a brochure that should have a QR code, and in using those QR codes, you can now then track it, right? Also, every time someone comes into your CRM system, that should be documented in your CR system, whether you do it manually or it's done automatically. The
Hmm.
more that you can do this automatically, the better. But yeah, all the leads should be accounted for. You should know. You should be the lead, and you should be tracking like how big of a house are you doing? You're right.
Yeah.
So are you on average? Are you doing 2,000 square foot homes or are you doing 3,000 square foot homes?
Hmm.
Right. And then that way you can start making this entire huge spreadsheet. And once you start being able to get those numbers, then you can start narrowing down and okay, go look, our 60% of our business is coming from middle income homes of $275,000 value with
Hmm.
2,700 square feet, right? 4 bedrooms, right? That's
Yep.
where our income is coming from. Well, good. Now, great. Now we're from now you got that collection of data. Now, if you've also collected on where most of those people are coming in from, are they coming in from Facebook? Are they coming in from referrals? Are they coming in from real estate? Where are they coming from? Are they doing Google ads? Right.
Hmm.
And then based on that, you could go, oh, they're mostly okay. These are mostly real estate people are referring us. Okay, good. So now you know you need to start putting more emphasis to real estate agents. So you start needing to spend more money on real estate agents and maybe less money on Thumbtack, for instance.
Yeah.
Does this make
Mhm.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
So yes, you should be keep tracking. And the more granular, the more specific that you get, the better. And your
Okay.
CRM should be able to do that for you. If it
Yeah.
doesn't, you either need to talk to the guys who run the CRM so that it does do it, or maybe find a better CRM system that will do that for
Yeah,
you.
our CRM is pretty good at tracking all that, so we could definitely implement it in there. Just being really precise with everything
Right. And you
we
need to
check.
use your CRM system for like a lot of your tracking and stuff. and it should be set up on what they call triggers. So someone comes in, they go to your website, they fill out a form for your estimate. That triggers something they put a little trigger on that, and then your CRM goes, oh, a lead came in from the form, right? And now that's going to set off a workflow that's automated workflow where they're going to get so many emails, they're going to get so many text messages, they're going to get so many postcards, and it's automatically set up. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
The more that you can automate that process, especially the follow-up process, the better.
Okay.
That's just going to make your life tremendously easier, and it's also going to allow you to track these different conversions at every stage of the life cycle.
Okay.
Right.
That makes sense.
And if you need help with that, setting that up, I would pay for, maybe you might need to spend, pay $1,000 with your website, your CRM developer, and set this system up. So, hey, when a lead comes in, it triggers the first day they get three emails and 3 text messages. One gets sent immediately. The next one gets sent like 3 hours after that, and another one gets sent 3 hours after that.
Okay.
You're saying the second day it goes into the second day. The second day they get an email like in mid-morning, and then another email just after like 6-7 o'clock, early evening kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. Third day, just one email and one text message, right? Yeah. Then if we don't get any joy from that, then that falls off, right? Mm-hmm. And then that falls off into a lost column. But see, here's the problem. A lot of people, somebody falls off because they don't respond, which it does happen. But now you still got that person's name, email, and ideally phone number.
Yeah.
Right. Well, now if they dropped off, you could still put them on a newsletter for next year. Because if they're in an apartment, let's say, usually the apartment lease is a yearly thing, right? Some rental leases are 2 years, but it really things. But within a year or even 2 years from this date, they're going to be looking for movers again. Yeah. So it would behoove you to put them on a long-term sequence just to keep yourself top of mind when it comes to a year down the road. Because you paid a lot of money for that lead. Why are you losing it?
You see exactly.
So, and too many people, they get these leads, they pay 20, 30, 40, 50, even $100 for a lead, only to have it drop off and them never to see that lead ever again. And hopefully they call you in within a year. They go back on Google or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But if you put them on a drip sequence, like every month and a half or something, with maybe hey, here's a coupon to our favorite taco place. Here's what city are you guys in?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Okay, good. Oh, here's our favorite brewery in Milwaukee. Here, and they gave us 4 gift certificates to give out to all of our customers. And I want to make sure that you're one of those guys that get a gift certificate to our favorite brewery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And or your favorite taco joint or your favorite pizza joint, or hey, you know what? Deadpool and Wolverine is the #1 movie in the world. I went and watched it. I loved it. It was great fun. I really wouldn't recommend it for families with small children. But hey, if you want to have a good adult time and enjoy yourself and laugh your guts out, then you need to think, here's some, I made a deal with the local movie theater. Here are some movie passes that you can get the movies off for half, right? And then, wow, great, So now if you do that every so often, amazing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
to think of you. And then when it comes a year from the time, they're going to go, hey, these guys were great. They gave us movie tickets at half price, blah, blah, blah. You know, that whole shamil. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Just emailing and just giving them some coupons to things and just keeping in contact with the lead, not
Yeah.
letting it dry out.
Yeah. I mean, so having a CRM that's automated and has triggers, and then you can keep track of all, and then you can staticize each of those conversion points, you know, and so on. And the more that you can granulate how much, you know, square footage, how many bedrooms, you know, the income, the house, however, how much the house is worth, right?
Yeah.
Then that'll help you with your demographics too for your marketing. So the more you can do that, the more you can narrow down who's the big bucks. Because let's say you're doing a lot of one bedroom apartment. Look, you're doing labor only. You're just doing a bunch of loads for one bedroom apartments. It seems great because you're doing 4, 5, 6 of these things, right?
Yeah.
But man, you're spending so much money to get that lead, and you're not really making a lot of money and stuff. But if you have the statistics, even though you seem to be doing a lot of those jobs, when you look at the statistics, you go, we're losing our ass off doing these jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not making any money. We're barely breaking even when you look at out of our expenses. But hey, if we do a little bit more, you know, 2-bedroom apartments, you know what I mean? And then you can concentrate on doing that. You know what I mean? So it's get your CRM narrowed in. And again, it's not a waste of time or money to sit down with the guys who do the CRM and have them walk you through it, help you set these systems up correctly, and so on and so forth. And if they're not willing to do it, then it comes down to one: do you really want them to have your CRM? Because it's usually a small company, and they don't have the time, right?
Yeah.
Which means they don't have the time to put into keeping they're too worried about keeping the system up and going than they are improving the system, right? Because if they don't got the time and energy and money to put in to figure, working with the people they're selling the CRM to, I'm not saying I don't know about your guys' CRM. I'm just as a generality. If somebody down the road sees this video, that's something you need to consider when you're hiring a CRM.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, we'll look into that too. I guess I don't want to take too much of your time, but as far as like our marketing, do you have any like tips? I mean, currently we don't even really do a lot of marketing. Most of our jobs come from online, like our SEO people. We always ask people how they heard about us, and a lot of people say online. I just searched up online movers and you guys showed up. We do postcards that we mail 100 out per week. We did a little bit of cold calling. We haven't lately because we've been doing all the moves and then referrals, and that's pretty much it. We don't do any paid ads or any other kind of advertisement. Is there stuff that we should be doing?
You're doing all the basic stuff right. Doing postcards, getting referrals, right? That's great. One thing that we're coming into the slow season, and you guys got a little bit of money in the bank account, I would take some of that money and start seeing and start splashing the waters off and see what gets the needle to move, right?
Yeah. Start
paying for some ads. And the guy I use is called Max Conversion. His name is Kyle Waters, and his company's called Max Conversion. And this guy seems to know what he's doing when it comes to moving companies, doing PPC ads, right? Tell him I sent you.
Okay.
But he's got a YouTube channel too, so it's like mine called Max Conversions. You can go and watch it. He doesn't do just moving companies, but he does do moving companies. And I think that this is a good time to start checking things out, seeing what works, what doesn't work, getting things dialed in. Now, if you're going to do a paid PPC ad campaigns, do realize that it's going to take 3 months to really get the campaign dialed in and running.
Okay.
So if you don't get anything the first month, relax. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's going to take a little bit to get it dialed in and running, right?
Mhm.
And Max is good about that. I think he could really work with, and not Max. I call him Max because it goes Max Conversions, but Kyle's really good about helping you out and talking to you. He's right about your age, good, smart kid.
Okay.
And I think that he could do very well for me. Like I said, tell him I sent you.
Okay.
He might not know Seven Figure Moving Academy, but he would know my moving business, which is Mr. Big Stuff.
Yeah.
So say Jay from Mr. Big Stuff recommended me. He says, um,
Okay.
I'm not saying he's going to give you a discount, but
Yeah.
he'll talk to you on the phone and the whole gamut. So you know what I mean? He's
Mhm.
very approachable. I got him on text message. I text message. He text messages me back fairly, not necessarily right away, but like within a few hours. So
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. So you would just have a guy kind of pretty much handling all the campaigns for you. Like,
yeah.
is that what we should be doing? Just pay someone to just do it for us.
Yeah, you don't have enough time to learn the ins and outs of it.
Okay.
You'll end up spending more money doing paid ads than just hiring someone to do your paid ads.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely look into that.
And this guy's already doing a bunch of moving companies already.
Mm-hmm.
So he could basically just plug and play the systems already in and get set up and going right away.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely look into all that stuff. So it's a lot of good stuff that you were just able to give it to us. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, take your time now through the slow season. Now that we're in the slow season, and start
Mm-hmm.
just testing things, trying things different out. See what sticks, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, it's a good time to redesign your postcard so that you
Yeah.
have an A and B test, right?
Mm-hmm.
And figure out which postcard converts the best.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. That's what you should be doing, working on now. You
Okay,
know,
just like working on just testing different things and
yeah.
trying out the different things.
Good. It's good time to now start social media and see does TikTok work for you, or if it doesn't work for you, or Instagram or Facebook. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right now it's just test, test, test. Try out new things, but give it a good. Don't just I gave it 2 weeks. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
you got to put in a couple of months on this, right? And you're going
Mm-hmm.
to have to be every day, even couple hours. Every couple hours, you might be needing to check it just to see what's working, what's not working. And then
Yeah.
eventually you'll come across a formula that works, and you just then scale that up to the point where it's just printing cash.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. That all sounds great. We're definitely gonna do all the stuff that you just told us here, like right away. But yeah, I mean that was pretty much all I had for you. Like I didn't want to take up all your time, but like just yeah, like Cole was saying, we really appreciate you just taking the time to do this. It's not like we have a lot of mentors in this kind of business, but yeah, we appreciate it. Like you said, mover Superman. That's how he sees you, me and Cole. So he couldn't be on the call today, but I'm gonna relay all this stuff to him. But yeah, I really appreciate it. All the stuff. I mean, we need the help. We're just young and all that. So
Pretty soon this will be on the YouTube channel
okay.
so that if you want to go back and look at this, you
Yeah,
can do that.
he'll watch it. Yeah, he'll watch it again too.
Okay, good. All right, good, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys coming on and asking me to help you out. Hopefully
Yeah,
it works out. Keep me informed. Let me know what's happening. I'd
yeah,
like to hear from you.
we'll definitely stay in touch. We appreciate it.
Okay, great. Excellent. You have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, you too, Jay.